Everything starts small, and not always where you might expect. The story of a Schwalbe tire, for example, starts in the heart of the Indonesian jungle. Here in Banten, a province located southwest of Jakarta.
Atas nama Abdi Rina, umur 50 tahun. Udah lama, pokoknya udah 15 tahunan lah, pasti lebih madai. Jadi jeung anak Rina, yang Samsul.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, the day starts with another equally important resource, the know-how and creativity of tire developers in Germany.
Die Ideen bei mir entstehen, wenn ich auch selber am Rad unterwegs bin. Da fällt mir mal auf, was man für Reifen braucht oder wie ein Profil auszusehen hat. Das sind dann so die ersten Überlegungen, die ich anstelle. Dann beginne ich eigentlich schon mit dem Zeichnen des ersten Entwurfs.
The team then produces prototypes and 3D models that are discussed, adapted and optimized over time.
Für Innovation ist bei der Firma Schwalbe immer Platz, also davon lebt die Firma. Wir können auch so schnell agieren, wenn wir neue Profile, neue Ideen haben, dass unser Hersteller in Indonesien oder auch in Vietnam da sehr, sehr schnell reagieren kann.
This is how the idea of a new tire is literally brought into shape. The final tread design is transferred to a precisely fabricated metal mold. This forms the negative or tread impression of the new tire. Meanwhile, the crude rubber congeals into what we call cup lumps. It can then be removed from the molds and collected by hand.
Paling penghasilannya itu seminggu 20-30 kilo lah. Seminggu sekali ada pengepul yang datang ke kampung ini.
Schwalbe believes in fair trade and works with Fair Rubber, a fair trade association that improves living and working conditions of smallholders by paying higher premiums for rubber. The association also promotes sustainable rubber production in rural areas. Intermediaries liaise between the tappers and the industry. Once cleaned and processed, the rubber is first taken to a close-by warehouse on the premises of the PT Hung A production facility. Ever since Schwalbe tires are around, both companies have formed a joint venture partnership. The warehouse also holds the other materials needed to produce complex rubber compounds. Several rubber compounds are used in Schwalbe bicycle tires for the casing, sidewall, tread and puncture protection insert. All formulas are a well-kept secret. The individual chemicals are weighed with precision in a computer-aided process. This is the only way to ensure consistently high quality and thus performance.
Saya kerja sebagai operator, bagian ban bari, bagian timbang, make-up, otomatis.
The natural rubber comes into contact with the weighed chemicals in an internal mixer known as a Banbury mixer. The Banbury mixer is a machine that uses heat to combine all the ingredients into a viscous mass. The base mixtures are rolled out into white strips in the open roll. Carbon black or soot is added to give the tires their characteristic black color. The crude rubber mats are rolled over and over again under high pressure to homogenize the components of the mixture. The continuous mats, or skins, are cooled down and temporarily stored, ready for further processing. The topping calendar, an impressive 37-meter coating unit, then processes the casing, which is the tire's supporting structure. In the process, a dense nylon fabric is coated with a rubber compound on both sides. The trick is to make the casing as thin and even as possible so that the tire is lightweight and runs smoothly without any imbalances. The casing is now cut diagonally using a fully automated fabric cutting machine known as a bias cutter. Following this diagonal cut, the nylon threads of the casing run at an angle to the rotational direction of the tire. This makes the tire far more robust and greatly enhances durability and longevity. The casing is now complete. The tire tread is all that is still missing. It is created using a triple extruder. This machine is capable of processing 3 different rubber compounds at the same time, one for the side wall, one for the puncture protection insert, and one for the tread. The rubber compounds are pressed through a die and thus connected inseparably. Every Schwalbe tire contains customized rubber compounds that lend it unique properties and enable a wide range of applications. A continuous belt is created. This is first cooled and then rolled up. It is now time to join the casing and the tread, a step carried out in the assembly process. Laser markings ensure a consistently high degree of precision when joining the casing and the tread.
Pertama-tama kita pasang dulu wire, terus lalu kita disobek, terus kita join, habis join kita masukkan ke wire ke drum, terus lalu itu kita otomatis lagi naikin sayap kanan kiri menjadi satu, terus kita proses selanjutnya itu kita pasang thread, itu dirakit menjadi geringgis.
Stamps and barcodes are used for quality control purposes and allow us to retrace each tire from anywhere in the world back to the manufacturer. Once the reflective tapes, name and brand label have been applied, the green case is ready for the final production step. Vulcanization. Vulcanization gives a tire its shape and elasticity. A worker places a curing tube, also known as an airbag, into the green case and brings both together into a negative mold made for that type of tire. 5 tires are vulcanized at a time. The airbag now presses the green case into the negative mold, and the rubber compounds are vulcanized at a temperature of 170 degrees Celsius. After an average of 6 minutes, the molds are opened. The rubber tire now has its elastic properties. The curing tubes are fully recyclable and fed back into the process after cooling. At the end of the production process, every single tire is subjected to rigorous quality checks. Tire after tire is carefully inspected by hand before earning its next quality control stamp. Trained staff spot check production batches for weight and true running. The tires are now ready to be shipped to Reichshof in Germany. So what needs to happen for serious production of the tire to be realized? Teams are simultaneously engaged in research and development at both the production factory and headquarters. Here, countless prototypes are tested, while some are even battered without mercy.
Durch das Labor und den modernen Maschinenpark, den wir hier haben, können wir ein Top-Produkt auf den Markt bringen, weil wir es vorher auf Herz und Nieren geprüft haben. Wir haben hier einen Abriebstest, wo wir in beschleunigter Zeit den Reifen abreiben können und so bewerten können, ob die Gummimischung langlebig ist. Wenn es um Performance geht, geht es oftmals auch um Durchschlagssicherheit. Dafür haben wir den Snakebite-Tester. So können wir mit einfachen Mitteln prüfen, ob ein Reifen dem Kunden genügen kann.
The testing procedures not only determine what a tire can withstand, they also establish the performance a tire offers. This is extremely important in a means of transport that depends on muscle power. All these findings are applied to the formulas for new rubber compounds.
Tugas saya dan tim saya adalah menyelidiki senyawa karet baru untuk menghasilkan ban baru yang inovatif.
In this way, innovation finds its way back to production, just like in tube production. To ensure air retention in Schwalbe tubes, the high purity of the material is every bit as essential as the chemical composition. A machine called a strainer uses high pressure to force the rubber compound through 7 different filters in order to purge unwanted particles. To this end, an intensive cleaning process is performed several times a day. An extruder forms a continuous malleable tube from the cut material. This is cut to the right length, then fitted with a valve and given a number for quality control purposes. The intermediate product is then taken on a trolley to the splicer station, where the loose ends are pressed together precisely to form a tube.
Lấy rượu xong rồi bỏ lên máy, xong rồi bỏ vô để canh nối lại.
The bonding of the seams and the valve guarantees a high degree of tear resistance. Next, the tube arrives at vulcanization. As in the case of tires, this process gives the tube its elastic properties and its high resistance to external influences. Of course, the tube does not require a tread. Various quality assurance steps are then performed. Once inflated, each tube is stored for 24 hours to check for air retention. Random testing in a water tank also confirms air retention. Provided everything is in order, the air is extracted, the tube is printed on, wound up, and packaged, ready for shipping. For many tubes and tires, this is the start of the journey to Schwalbe headquarters in Germany. Upon arrival at the Reichshof headquarters, warehouse staff receive the goods and organize their distribution. The warehouse holds millions of tires, tubes, and accessories. On the next floor up, final spot checking is carried out for quality assurance purposes. This completes the series of checks in line with the dual verification principle. When the products have passed these tests, they are finally ready to travel thousands of kilometers attached to our customers' wheels, all around the world.